Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today we're going to talk about leaders achieve success by being flexible to changes. So we're still in the series about what we can learn from highly successful people. It doesn't matter whether they're in our business or not. I mean, successful people are successful because of the things they do, right? So I believe that success leaves clues. And if we watch what the successful people do, we can learn a lot from them. So one of the things they do is they're extremely flexible to change because successful people just know they need to be, right? So many people are so hardened and stuck in their old ways that when changes present themselves, they're not able to adapt. They find that they're not able to. And so they're often so resistant to change that they'll give up when something deviates from their original plan. Others are so unprepared for change that they can't adapt quick enough. In order to be successful, you need to be flexible enough so you can adapt to change and work with the ebb and flow of things. And I've seen this a lot lately in my Avon business. And you know what? I'm not going to go into it right now, but there was a day when I actually walked away from my business because of this same reason, because I wasn't flexible enough to change, right? But hey, right now, I've seen a lot in my Avon business. And so as you may have heard, Avon was purchased by LG Home and Health. It's been a little while now, so it's probably not new news. And of course, the new company went through our entire business and changed what they needed to make it work for them. And I mean, that's exactly what I would have done. I mean, if I had if I had just spent that kind of money and purchased a company, you can bet your butt I would be going through and changing everything to make it work the way I think it needs to work, or at least evaluate everything, right? So a lot of Avon reps couldn't handle that change, and there was a lot of griping and moaning, but a lot of them have left the company. And I kind of feel sorry for them because even though things are changing dramatically in some cases, I see that these changes are going to make all of us more successful overall. And then again, what's the point in jumping to another company? I mean, do you seriously think that that next company isn't going to make changes at some point? Maybe you've had something like that happen in your business, if you have a business, or in your job, if you have, in your job or in your life even. I mean, I've been in jobs where that's happened. You get a new boss and they want to do everything differently, right? We've all been there. I mean, it's not anything new, but as much as it might seem like a positive trait, being headstrong and rigid isn't always the best thing for you to be successful. It's not going to help you, right? So life is always unpredictable. As much as you might think you'll know exactly how a project or anything else is going to work, it might not go that way. It doesn't always go the way you plan, right? And if you can't make the change, you're going to end up failing because you'll be going against the grain. So by being flexible, you're going to be able to adapt to any unexpected changes that might come up while you're working on something important. So flexibility comes in many forms. So for some, it means adapting on the fly, right? So for example, if you're working on a project and one of the people working on it with you suddenly can't work anymore, you're going to need to find a replacement, like quick, immediate, right? And that's not something you can realistically plan for, since you never know who's going to get sick or injured, but you're just going to have to work fast and go with it. That would be working on the fly, right? Adapting as things happen, right? In another way, you might have contingency plans in place so that when a sudden change does arise, you'll be able to reference that plan and quickly work to resolve the issue. That would obviously be for bigger projects or, your big picture goals, right? So, for example, if you know that one part of your project might not be able to get done as originally planned, you'll have a different way of doing it in place as a backup so that if your first option fails, you're not left in a lurch. This, of course, can't work in all situations, but it certainly helps reduce the panicked feeling you get when something goes wrong. So here's some of the traits. Here's some of how I've seen successful people use this to, being flexible, how they use being flexible. So instead of holding on to how they wish things were, they embrace how things are by appreciating the things that are going right in their lives. Successful people adapt quickly to new situations, and they tend to be prepared in all times with a plan A or B or C or D if necessary. I mean, they know they have the whole alphabet if they need it, right? Successful people stay in control. A lot of times you'll see they'll pause before reacting because they understand that there's many solutions to any given situation. And so they take the time to gather their thoughts and gather what information they need before choosing that best option. Successful people think on their feet. They're not afraid to change their opinions as they take on new information. They don't get stuck with that thing in their mind about, well, this is the way it has to be, right? Because they're flexible. So yeah, so they trust themselves. Successful people trust themselves. They have a strong sense of themselves and they trust and follow their inner voice. They know that they will find a way to make it happen. They know they will because they trust that they will. So something to really important to realize about being flexible is that you're going to have to accept the change openly. None of us like change. Seriously, I mean, none of us do. Not a single one of us. I don't, you don't, but it's inevitable, right? So even if it's not a change that you want to happen, you're going to have far more success if you work with the change rather than against it. If you're working against it, then you're going to find that you might not be able to reverse the change and you will have wasted your time trying to cheat the system because the change is going to happen no matter what. If you're going to fight it, you're only hurting yourself, right? So you got to adapt. The quicker you adapt, the more successful you're going to be. So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. Are you generally pretty flexible? What kinds of things do help you to adapt when you're running into changes, especially those you don't like? So please get below in the comments and share with us. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thanks for being here with me, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.